So, an interesting thing about the men who are really anxious about the idea of women having past partners is it all seems predicated on the fact that women are incapable of original thought or of having a brain, because it's a main tenet of this theory is that if women don't have any other experience, then they won't have anybody to compare you to unfavorably. Well, I mean, I guess if women didn't have any capacity for independent thought, that could be true. But then, the women in my actual office say things like, I think that it would have been, a better relationship, better sex, etc. with, basically this other guy that I knew in high school, even, like a boy I had a crush on, or like this guy that's at work, or like whatever, whatever. So it seems like the only way to stop women from potentially thinking that, their situation might be improved would be to keep them kind of, captive or something. But even then, you wouldn't have gotten them as like a newborn captive, so you would have to make sure that they never interacted with any other men or talked to anybody who interacted with any other men. I mean, this would take, quite a lot of effort to do. And she still might imagine possibly then even being with a more receptive or attentive female partner, because here's the thing, people have brains and they are constantly thinking about their experience. And if they are unhappy, then it's adaptive to think about ways that they could be happier, even if it's fantasy. And the part that's so interesting is that the women who have not had any prior experience, they often idealize sex and relationships the most. So they're the ones that feel like the entirety of why the sex life isn't working out is the guy, because, he's the only one they've ever been with, right? So they think that it's because he must be bad in some way, that the sex life is bad. Whereas women who have had multiple partners usually understand they're a common denominator in their experience, and therefore, they have the capacity, the autonomy, the agency to, make their experience different. And they have done that across different domains, and that they can be an active participant. Now, of course, there are people who are happily married, that get married and it's only their first partner and they're okay with it and whatever. But there are equal amounts of people in my office that struggle if they've had prior partners or if they've not had prior partners. Having no prior partners, again, does not stop somebody from knowing if they're unhappy. And frequently their comparison points are even more idealized and unrealistic because they've not had them in real life. So if we get rid of the newborn captive, raised in captivity idea for a wife, it may be that, women similar to men like to, explore their world and date around before they settle down, and that this can help them know themselves better. And then they don't have as much to regret if marriage really doesn't work out. Because I've never heard anybody say, I had a great relationship in high school, my high school sweetheart, but it really sucks. I regret it every day that I had that nice experience because I was not pure as the driven snow for my husband. Never heard that once. All right, that's what my thoughts are on this ongoing debate.